Xaku is most likely the next prime Warframe coming to the game, and that made me play him a little bit more, test him out to see what's working, what's not. And in today's video I have basically a room controlling nuke, almost invincible, and also level cap Xaku. So if that sounds interesting, intriguing, let's continue on watching the video. Now Xaku is one of my favorite Warframes, especially when I need to farm up a lot of Argon crystals, but he is much better than opening up just crates. Now, what is he good at? Well, controlling a massive area, armor stripping enemies, and nuking with today's build. Now, we're gonna be starting off with his passive. His passive gives you a 25% dodge chance to incoming bullets, and also 25% damage reduction on area effect damage, so that's pretty good. This can go up to 75% with the fourth ability active. Now the first ability is Xata's Whisper. Xata's Whisper is a really good ability, it gives you void damage on your weapons. Void damage is a very good damage type and pairs very well with Xaku, him being almost the only Warframe, if not the only Warframe that applies it. But we're gonna be replacing this ability with something else, and that is gonna be Breach Surge. After editing this video I've noticed that I didn't actually mention what Breach Surge does. Now Breach Surge, damaging and killing enemies will summon sparks that deal radiation damage. They also have a damage multiplier, they can seek out heads, and basically meaning with the whole kit you have a pretty good way of using this ability. But now let's move on to the actual video. Now, is Breach Surge the best option? I do not know, probably not. Is it actually fun to play with this and the Occucor? Yes, and we're gonna get into more details soon enough. But the second ability, Grasp of Lohk. This steals the weapons of enemies nearby, does a scaling void damage, which is very good because this is going to be your primary damage dealer. Now the Lost is his third ability. We have three different abilities here. We have a crowd controlling ability with Accuse, we have Deny, which basically does void damage, and then we have Gaze. Now Gaze, you place down a maximum of 2 enemies or lock them down, and you can fully armor strip enemies inside of those circles. So what you want to do is have your Grasp of Lohk almost always active, if not always active, have your 3 set up in a really good area, and then use Breach Surge a lot because that's going to be Brief Respite and Shield Gating. Now the fourth ability is something that you should 100% have active, the Vast Untime. The Vast Untime first of all makes enemies in the nearby area vulnerable to void damage, which is very good, especially if they're armor stripped. It slows them down as well, and the very good thing is it upgrades you to 75% dodge chance, and one of the best things, it locks, or I guess stops the duration of your abilities. So Vast Untime has to be always active. You use the Lost, or I guess Gaze, place it on 2 enemies, and then use Grasp of Lohk, take their guns, Breach Surge, and then you can just destroy rooms. So you can just walk around, not even use your weapons. But we were talking about the weapons. What weapons do I use? First of all, primary. Here you can almost pick anything that you want. Use whatever thing you think is good. On the secondary though, we use the Occucor. Why the Occucor? Now the Occucor is a very good secondary. I've actually covered it in my top 10 secondaries. It does require you to purchase this mod, Sentient Surge. Now Sentient Surge builds your magazine when you damage enemies, and it increases your status and critical chance for 60% for each tendril active, and it can spread into 9 different tendrils when you damage and kill an enemy. This is very good. Now the build that I used, this is what it looks like. We have viral, heat, and radiation. I was thinking about corrosive, but corrosive doesn't really have a use here because Xaku's third ability. But this is one of the best weapons I have paired with Xaku. You can choose anything else, it is completely up to you. It's just better this way. You're not honestly gonna even use it, but when you do, you know it's gonna be really good. If you continuously use it, it's gonna be even better. And the melee weapon also, whatever you want, you can basically choose anything you would like. I use the Nikana Prime, and this is what the build looks like, but as I said, to each their own. Now the Xaku build. this is what the Xaku build looks like. We have growing power in the aura slot, we have overextended, vampiric grasp, stretch, streamline, we have rolling guard, primed continuity, blind rage, umbral intensify, we have arcane energize, and mold augmented. Now, vampiric grasp, basically when you grasp the enemy's weapons with your second ability, each one of those hits is going to heal you for a certain percentage of health. Now, we're focusing on shield gating. You might notice that we basically have no shield gating anywhere. Don't you guys worry, the companion will take care of that. But with this build, you honestly don't need vampiric grasp. You can use anything that you like. I just have the extra safety of gaining health back through some mains. You can honestly increase either the range or the duration or the power strength. It is completely up to you. All three are gonna be amazing. Now, we want to talk about the shards. The shards, I have two blue ones, 175, 150 energy respectively, and then we have one for casting speed 37.5, and then another for 25, and then we have additional 15% power strength, because the more power strength we have, the better our second and our breach surge is going to be. Now, we want to cover the focus school as well. Of course, we all know Madurai, power transfer, increasing and giving you casting speed, and then sling strength. When you sling multiple times in a row, you can gain additional power strength. Both of these are really amazing. You can honestly utilize this more than even having Archon Shards. So if you don't have the shards, this is a really good substitute. If you do, you're gonna get the results that I have. But what is the companion? Where's our shield getting, Gaming Weasel? Here it is. It is actually Wyrm Prime. Now, through Negate, we have Adaptation. Through Guardian, we have Shield Regeneration. I can't speak apparently, but honestly, this has helped me out most of the time and kept me alive throughout the gameplay. If you do find it necessary, use Brief Respite. But in this situation, with this build, I've been running this Warframe and I haven't died once. You can, he is very fragile, but honestly, with this, you're pretty much safe and secure, because honestly, Wyrm is gonna save you most of the time. And that is all of the necessary tidbits to make this build. How do you actually play it? Well, I explained it earlier a little bit, but I'll quickly go over it now. Keep your fourth ability always active. Then, what you can do is grasp the guns of enemies, use your second ability, and then set up gaze in the best location where you can find it, and then use breach surge, and then your weapons and breach surge is gonna kill enemies. But I'm very interested in what you guys think of the build. If you think it's cool, if you think it's bad, leave it in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the Gaming Weasel. I love every single one of you. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. The Gaming Weasel, over and out.